You've been walking past the best slot machines in the casino this entire time. Ex-employees just revealed 11 specific machines that give low-budget players the best chance to actually win. And what these insiders shared is going to completely change how you approach the slot floor. These aren't the flashy games by the entrance, and they're not the ones with huge progressive jackpots either. And the number one slot on this list, former technicians admitted they'd personally play it if they were gambling, and casinos hate that players are starting to catch on. So if you've got $100 and you want it to last more than an hour, then you need to know about these 11 machines. Let's start with number 11, which is called Liberty Jewels. This machine doesn't look like much when you walk past it. No fancy licensed theme, no massive digital display showing million-dollar jackpots. But according to former slot technicians, that's exactly why it's valuable for budget players. Floor staff who've spent years around these machines often refer to Liberty Jewels as a local favorite, a game that has stayed on casino floors long enough for the property to recoup its original investment, which usually means the machine is set a little looser than newer titles, so it continues attracting steady play. Based on insider estimates, Liberty Jewels operates with a return-to-player range of roughly 93 to 95%, depending on how each casino configures the machine, and that's noticeably better than what most modern video slots offer today. Its design is straightforward, built around simple pay lines, and a basic free spin bonus that tends to appear every 120 spins or so, which players appreciate, because there are no hidden mechanics or complicated mini-games to work through. The machine's medium volatility is another reason. It's favored among budget-minded players, as it delivers frequent, smaller wins that help keep sessions alive while still offering the occasional 50 to 100 times bet payout that adds real excitement without exposing you to massive swings. Some attendants have even watched experienced players sit at Liberty Jewels for 3 or 4 hours on a single $100 budget and walk away with money still in their pocket, something that rarely happens on newer, more aggressive slots. Players who know this machine will often recommend sticking to the minimum bet settings, since Liberty Jewels allows you to adjust both your wager size and the number of active paylines. Running it at around 40 to 60 cents per spin gives you nearly 200 spins for every $100. And with that amount of play, it becomes increasingly likely you'll hit at least 1 or 2 bonus rounds, which is where the game really provides value. One long-term regular reportedly made Liberty Jewels his go-to slot for over a year, visiting twice a week and playing several hours per session on the lowest bet configuration, and his total losses for the entire year stayed under $500, an unusually low number for someone who plays that consistently. Stories like these are part of why so many seasoned casino workers consider Liberty Jewels a genuinely smart choice for players trying to make their money last. Even the bonus round is refreshingly simple. 10 free spins with a 2 times multiplier, no confusing pick screens or buried odds, just transparent math that typically returns between 40 and 70 times your bet. That consistency, combined with the machine's steady payout behavior, is why so many ex-employees suggest starting with Liberty Jewels if you really trying to understand what good value actually feels like on a slot floor. And while Liberty Jewels is a strong opener on this list, the next machine goes even further, hitting payouts more frequently and using a subtle psychological hook that keeps players spinning far longer than they expect. Machine number 10 is Double Chili Mania. This machine is part of a series of Mania games, and according to insiders, it's quietly one of the best values on the floor for players who know what they're really looking for. People who worked with the machine explained that Double Chili Mania typically operates with an RTP between 92 and 94%, which puts it in the upper tier of modern video slots. But what makes this machine particularly good for budget players, according to ex-casino workers, is the high hit frequency. Reports indicate this machine lands winning combinations on roughly 30 to 35% of spins, which means you're constantly seeing some kind of return. Now here's the important detail that insiders stressed. Many of those wins will be less than your total bet amount, especially if you're playing multiple paylines. But former employees explain that this high hit frequency serves a crucial psychological purpose. It keeps you engaged and prevents that demoralizing feeling of spinning 20 times in a row with nothing. When you're playing on a tight budget, that mental aspect matters just as much as the math. The bonus feature on Double Chili Mania is a free spin round that triggers when you land 3 or more scatter symbols. Data from technicians who service the machines suggests this bonus hits approximately once every 90 to 100 spins based on the game's programming. The bonus gives you 8 to 15 free spins, depending on how many scatters you landed, and during the free spins, certain symbols can become wild symbols to create more winning combinations. According to statements from former slot attendants, the key to playing Double Chili Mania on a budget is to reduce your bet to minimal levels, but keep all pay lines active. The machine usually has 30 or 40 pay lines, and while that sounds expensive, you can often bet as little as 30 to 50 cents per spin with all lines active. Keeping all lines active on this particular machine is important because the high hit frequency means you catch wins on various payline combinations. And those small, frequent wins extend your playing time significantly. Another thing experienced players point out is the visual design of Double Chili Mania. The bright colors and cheerful sounds help create a positive playing experience, even when you're not hitting big wins. Casinos classify machines like this as strong, time-on-device performers, meaning players tend to stay at them for long sessions because they're enjoying themselves. And when you're having fun while your money lasts longer, that's exactly what budget players should want. According to Insider Logic, Double Chili Mania also tends to perform even better in regional casinos than in big strip properties. Smaller casinos often set their machines a bit looser to stay competitive, and this game benefits more than most from those settings. Machine number 9 on our list is China Shores. This Konami slot has gained a loyal fan base among players who understand slot math. And for budget players, here's the real hook. The action-stacked symbols feature can produce shockingly big hits once you know how it actually works. So ex-casino workers are saying China Shores sits around 96.1% RTP, though that varies depending on which casino you're at and what denomination you're playing. Now, yeah, that's a bit lower than some of the simpler slots out there. But it's the combination of those stacking symbols with the bonus structure that really sets it apart. But hold on, before I get into how it works, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. And hey, tell me in the comments, have you ever scored a big win on a minimal bet? Alright, so here's how the stacking actually works. Before each spin, the game randomly picks one symbol to stack. What that means is, it can show up multiple times on every single reel, which obviously increases your shot at some major line wins. Now, sources who are familiar with how Konami designs these things say that when a high-value symbol gets picked for stacking, you're looking at payouts anywhere from 50 to 100x your bet in just one spin. And that's not even in the bonus round. That's base game stuff. The free spin bonus kicks in when you land 3, 4, or 5 of those yin-yang scatter symbols. You'll get 8, 10, or 15 free spins depending on how many you hit. And here's where it gets really interesting. During the bonus round, the stacking feature actually becomes way more favorable. The game bumps up the chances that high-value symbols will be chosen for stacking, which obviously means better potential wins. According to insiders, the bonus round hits with a frequency that works with regular play. It's not one of those ultra-rare bonuses where you're grinding forever just trying to trigger it. And during those free spins, you're looking at payoffs that can range anywhere from 80 to over 300x. The really big ones happen when those stacked wilds line up across multiple reels. What the insiders really emphasize is Golden Goddess's balanced volatility. You get frequent enough small wins to keep your bankroll breathing, solid medium hits that build some momentum, and then those occasional big payouts that actually feel rewarding. That middle ground, it's incredibly rare in modern slots, which usually go way too volatile. There's also something to be said for reliability. Maintenance teams have noted that this machine malfunctions way less often than the newer, more complex video slots. Smooth, consistent gameplay might sound like a minor thing, but when you're on a winning streak, the last thing you need is a machine reset killing your momentum. Some of the best evidence comes from long-term regulars that casino staff have documented. There's one case that stands out: a retired woman who played the machine twice a week on a fixed $100 budget. After an entire year, her net loss was under $400. Think about that. She basically bought a full year of entertainment for about $30 a month. Insiders say this kind of consistency just doesn't happen on most modern slots. Casino managers have also pointed out that Golden Goddess has one of the highest time-on-device scores of any IGT game out there. Players stay longer, they come back more often, and they report higher satisfaction. At first, casinos loved the extended playtime. Eventually, though, they realized the machine was actually creating loyal fans who kept returning. The betting options work great for low budgets, too. Most versions let you play anywhere from 50 cents to $1 per spin, and staff consistently recommend starting at the lowest level. With a $100 bankroll at 50 cents per spin, you're looking at roughly 200 spins. That's enough to hit the bonus at least once and catch multiple favorable super stacks along the way. Some experienced players even have this thing where they watch for stacked wild symbols early in a session. When the super stacks randomly picks wilds once or twice within your first few spins, a lot of regulars take it as a sign the machine's in a strong cycle. Of course, they still acknowledge that overall randomness always applies across technicians, attendants, and managers. Fair math, steady gameplay, memorable wins, and long play sessions, it's the clear number one choice. So that wraps it up. 11 machines that former casino employees consistently point to as the best options when you re-gambling on a tight budget. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe for more insider casino information that most players never get to hear about. Look, IGT's Classic Slot has quietly become one of the most player-friendly games you'll find on any modern casino floor, especially if you're trying to stretch a small bankroll. The people who've actually worked with this machine day in and day out, they say the RTP usually sits somewhere between 94 and 96%. That puts it right at the top tier of video slots you can actually walk up to and play. But here's the thing, it's not just about the numbers. What really sets Golden Goddess apart is how it's built. Casino staff who watched this machine's performance over time will tell you it's one of the few modern slots that's actually designed for long, steady sessions rather than just trying to drain your wallet as fast as possible. The whole game revolves around this super stack system. Before every single spin, one symbol gets chosen to appear stacked across the reels. People who maintain these machines say this one feature creates most of the excitement in the game. When a high-paying symbol gets picked, or better yet, wilds, your screen can just fill up with matching stacks. We're talking line hits worth 50 to 150x your bet, and that's without even triggering the bonus. Now, about that bonus feature, it triggers when scatter symbols land in a 3x3 block. It works like 9 visible scatters, but technically it only counts as 3. Here's where it gets interesting though, because the super stacks can actually select the scatter symbol itself. You end up triggering the full bonus more often than you'd expect. People who understand the machine's math say the free spin round shows up about once every 90 to 120 spins, which is honestly excellent for a feature that pays this well. When you do hit that bonus, you get 9 free spins, and the super stack system just keeps doing its thing. The game doesn't specifically boost wild frequency during the bonus or anything like that, but the stack mechanic is powerful enough on its own. Casino attendants have seen players hit bonus rounds that pay anywhere from 80 to over 300x. The really big ones happen when those stacked wilds line up across multiple reels. What the insiders really emphasize is Golden Goddess's balanced volatility. You get frequent enough small wins to keep your bankroll breathing, solid medium hits that build some momentum, and then those occasional big payouts that actually feel rewarding. That middle ground, it's incredibly rare in modern slots, which usually go way too volatile. There's also something to be said for reliability. Maintenance teams have noted that this machine malfunctions way less often than the newer, more complex video slots. Smooth, consistent gameplay might sound like a minor thing, but when you're on a winning streak, the last thing you need is a machine reset killing your momentum. Some of the best evidence comes from long-term regulars that casino staff have documented. There's one case that stands out: a retired woman who played the machine twice a week on a fixed $100 budget. After an entire year, her net loss was under $400. Think about that. She basically bought a full year of entertainment for about $30 a month. Insiders say this kind of consistency just doesn't happen on most modern slots. Casino managers have also pointed out that Golden Goddess has one of the highest time-on-device scores of any IGT game out there. Players stay longer, they come back more often, and they report higher satisfaction. At first, casinos loved the extended playtime. Eventually, though, they realized the machine was actually creating loyal fans who kept returning. The betting options work great for low budgets, too. Most versions let you play anywhere from 50 cents to $1 per spin. and staff consistently recommend starting at the lowest level. With a $100 bankroll at 50 cents per spin, you're looking at roughly 200 spins. That's enough to hit the bonus at least once and catch multiple favorable super stacks along the way. Some experienced players even have this thing where they watch for stacked wild symbols early in a session. When the super stacks randomly picks wilds once or twice within your first few spins, a lot of regulars take it as a sign the machine's in a strong cycle. Of course, they still acknowledge that overall randomness always applies across technicians, attendants, and managers. The consensus is pretty much unified. Golden Goddess is the single best low-budget slot they'd recommend to a friend. Fair math, steady gameplay, memorable wins, and long play sessions. It's the clear #1 choice.